Hello, Younger Old here, and welcome to my channel. It's a nice, fresh, sunny October morning, and just out for a bit of a spin. And you start to think now, how many more days am I going to get like this before the dreaded winter sets in? Now, as hard as I've tried, I cannot find anything at all which is pleasurable about winter. We've got short days, very long nights, a lot less opportunity to take your bike out for a spin, go to bike nights. And then what do they do in the middle of winter? They slap this festival I can't stand called Christmas. Now, I know that might make me a Scrooge or a Grinch, yeah, I've had all the comments. But I hate that. Now, I always thought it was just me being a grumpy old miserable git. But apparently it's got a posh name now. Seasonal affective disorder. Or SAD syndrome. Well, SAD is certainly right. Years ago, by choice, I just had 3 bikes, 2 Blackbirds and my Harley. I didn't have a car. I never had a car for 5 years. And I used to use my bikes as my main method of transport, no matter what the weather. And I suppose as I've got older, I'm a little bit more of a fair weather rider. Not completely. I mean, if I'm going to go out for the day, but yeah, we're going to get a rain shower on the way home, that's fine. I can cope with that. At least I've had the day out. And when I'm home I can get showered and get warm dry clothes on. But if I'm going to go out for the day and it's raining in the morning and I'm going to be hanging around all day in wet clothes, then yeah, it does knock the edge off it a little bit. So how do we cope with this SAD syndrome? I know in my case, as I'm now semi-retired, I'm fortunate enough where I don't let my work sort of get in the way of biking activities. So if I do get a nice day, I can still get out for a spin. You know, my bike's got heated grips, I've got good warm clothing. Yeah, why not? You know, still get out and blow the cobwebs off. When I was working 6 days a week, it was very hard because I'd only have Sunday off. And sometimes you get a really nice week, but then a crap Sunday. That used to be very disheartening. You know, during the winter, I tend to look back on the tours I've done. I mean, this year I've done the Isle of Wight, I've done Bruges, Ostend, and then Weymouth. I never got to Devon, sadly, because the roads were flooded down there the week I was going to go. But at least that gives me time to plan for next year's trips. I've already booked again for the Isle of Wight. I'm going to do a little tour of Kent, booked that, and I've also booked to go to West Bay, back end again, and do a little bit more of the Dorset touring. So even over the winter, if I manage to get out for a ride, I shall still put the camera on the helmet and on the bike, get some footage, and you know, you could probably sort of construct some kind of video I can upload on here. I actually enjoy all the editing. I find that very interesting. I don't watch telly. I'd much sooner be on the computer than sit in front of the telly screen watching what sort of drivel they put out now. Luckily, the Hall Park bike meet to go to on a Wednesday, followed by Uggies on Wednesday as well, they still open throughout the winter, although you know, you're going to get greatly reduced numbers. If I'd got some expensive classic bike all blinging in chrome, then no, I wouldn't want to take that out when there's road salt on the road and the weather's bad. But you know what, even if I just drove in the car, I could meet, you know, my touring friends there, MacBook Mickey and others, and you know, we can sit round, have a coffee and a bacon cob. Yeah, it's all about the bacon cob, and we can discuss and plan places we can try and visit for next year. So at least it still gets you out. I plan to go down to the local park a couple of days a week. I'm very novice with my drone. I've only had one sort of maiden flight with it, and I'd like to get a bit more proficient so I can get better content to put on YouTube. So I can go down there and have a practice, just get a couple of spare batteries, flask of coffee, and I can while away an hour or so down the park. Whatever area you live in, you know, check out your local events for bikers. You tend to find there's always a Christmas toy run on. Now I enjoy these. Yeah, sometimes it may be a bit cold, but like I said, wrap up warm, put a few extra layers on, put your thermal lining in, and it's still a good day out. You get a good crowd turn up at them. As long as there's no snow and ice on the road, you're absolutely fine. So that's something well worth doing if you've never done one. Support your local toy run. It's a good worthwhile charity. We've been offered a chance to go to a trip to Austria, but sadly we can't really make it because we're only back from the Isle of Wight literally a few days, and then it's off to Austria, and obviously my wife can't take that much holiday in such a short space of time. So yeah, we've had to opt out of that one, but I'm going to go Europe again next year. Probably head off to Bruges as per normal, and then make his way down to a place called Valkenburg in Holland. So it'll be a nice drive through Holland to get there. We've been Valkenburg before on these all-inclusive coach trip things, which have been very good, but I've always said I'd like to go back on a bike and explore that area. There is some very nice places. So when the dreaded winter finally appears, don't be one of those riders who just chuck your bike in the garage, put a cloth over it and say bye bye, see you in the spring. Pick your days. You will get some days when it's nice for a ride. Even these cold frosty mornings, the sun's shining, but come 10 o'clock the frost is all gone, the roads aren't slippy anymore. Get your bike out. At least you can sort of get 2 or 3 hours, still be home for just after 1 o'clock, so you've had the best part of the day. But it's better than sitting in doing nothing. Try and get on a few toy runs if you can, anything to sort of keep you going. Plan ahead for next year, and it will soon come. So anyway, if you've enjoyed this video, please do the ticks, and all that's left me to say once again is take care, ride safe, and bye for now.